Your memory loss isn't inevitable. And in the next 24 minutes, I'm going to show you something that will shock you. One simple 60-second exercise that your neurologist probably hasn't told you about because it wasn't widely studied until 2022. But before I reveal it, let me ask you something. Have you noticed yourself forgetting where you put your keys? Struggling to remember your grandchild's birthday? Feeling like your mind just isn't as sharp as it used to be? If you're over 60, you're not alone. In fact, memory loss after 60 affects over 16 million Americans. But here's what surprised me most in my 20 years of practicing medicine. Most of you think this is just normal aging. It's not, and I'm going to prove it to you. Stay with me. Hello, I'm Dr. Alex Mandell. For over 20 years, I've worked with thousands of seniors just like you. And one thing I've learned is this: you don't accept decline quietly. You want your independence back. You want to remember your grandchildren's names without hesitation. You want to feel sharp, confident, and in control of your own mind. That's why I'm here today. Because what I'm about to share with you has changed the lives of hundreds of my patients. And the best part, it takes just 60 seconds a day, not an hour at the gym, not complicated meditation or expensive brain training apps. 60 seconds. Before we dive in, please do me a favor. If this information resonates with you, smash that like button right now. It helps me reach more seniors who need to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another video like this one. Let me tell you about one of my patients. Consider them as Margaret, a vibrant 71-year-old who loved hosting Sunday dinners for her grandchildren. But over the past 2 years, something changed. She started forgetting family recipes she'd made for 40 years. Her children began asking, "Mom, are you okay?" When she'd repeat the same story twice in one conversation, Margaret was terrified. She thought she was losing her mind. But here's what Margaret discovered. Her memory loss wasn't Alzheimer's. It wasn't dementia. It was something much more fixable. And it all came down to one critical area of her brain that her doctor never mentioned. Let me explain what's actually happening inside your brain when you hit 60. As we age, a small part of your brain called the hippocampus, that's your memory center, starts to shrink. By age 60, your hippocampus can be up to 20% smaller than it was at 30. This shrinkage is the primary culprit behind memory loss. But, and this is crucial, this shrinkage is not inevitable and it's not permanent. Most doctors will tell you memory loss is normal aging. But what they don't tell you is that specific activities can actually reverse this shrinkage. In 2022, a landmark study from Johns Hopkins found that targeted exercises could increase hippocampal volume by up to 2% in just 12 weeks. 2% might not sound like much, but that translates to regaining years of memory function. Years. I had another patient, consider them as Robert, 68 years old, who came to me convinced he had early-stage dementia. His wife said he couldn't remember conversations from the day before. But when I tested him, his cognitive decline was purely hippocampal related, not neurodegeneration. Within 8 weeks of doing this 60-second exercise, Robert's memory testing improved by 23%. His wife stopped worrying, his children noticed he was sharper, and Robert felt like himself again. But wait, here's something most people don't know. Your memory loss might not just be aging, it might be something else entirely, and I'll reveal that in just a moment. Every week I have patients come in complaining about memory loss, and every week I ask them the same question: how's your sleep? Almost universally they say, terrible or not great. Here's why that matters. During deep sleep, specifically REM sleep, your brain does something called memory consolidation. Think of it like filing away your daily experiences into long-term storage. When you don't get enough deep sleep, those files never get organized. So even if you have perfectly healthy brain function, your memory still suffers. I remember speaking with a 72-year-old patient who considered themselves as Helen. Helen was on blood pressure medication that was actually suppressing her REM sleep without her knowing it. No doctor had made that connection. She thought her memory problems were inevitable. But once we adjusted her medication, her sleep improved, and her memory came roaring back. But the memory loss issue goes even deeper. Stress hormones, particularly cortisol, literally shrink your hippocampus. Chronic stress is like poison for memory. I see this constantly in seniors who are anxious about finances, worried about their health, or dealing with grief. What happened next surprised even my patients. Once we addressed their stress levels, their sleep, and added this one specific exercise, everything changed. Their energy improved, their confidence returned, and their memory became sharp again. Now, here's what I want you to understand. Most seniors completely miss this point. They think memory loss is something that just happens to them, that they have to accept it. But the truth? Your brain is far more adaptable than you think. This is called neuroplasticity, and it works at any age. All right, it's time. Let me show you this exercise, and I promise you it's simpler than you think. The exercise is called brisk walking with precision stepping. Here's exactly how you do it. Step 1, you walk briskly. That means a pace where you can talk but not sing for about 45 seconds. Your heart rate should be elevated, but you're not gasping for breath. Step 2, in the final 15 seconds, you add what I call precision stepping. This means you focus intently on where each foot lands. You're being deliberate, concentrated, and mentally engaged with the movement. That's it, 60 seconds total, 1 minute every single day. Now, why does this work? 2 reasons. First, the brisk walking increases blood flow to your hippocampus. Your brain is literally getting more oxygen and nutrients. Studies show this alone improves memory function within days. Second, the precision stepping engages something called attention switching. Your brain has to simultaneously manage movement planning, balance, and focus. This creates new neural pathways. Your brain builds new connections, and those connections are what reverse memory loss. I had a patient, consider them as David, 64 years old, who was a retired accountant, sharp man, but he'd been experiencing memory fog for years. His daughter had been gently suggesting he might need help with things. That hurt him deeply. But after just 3 weeks of this 60-second exercise, something remarkable happened. He went back to helping his grandchildren with homework. He could remember conversations from weeks prior, and his daughter stopped asking if he was okay. His confidence returned because his memory returned. But there's more to this. Please like and share this video right now if you're finding this helpful. This helps other seniors discover what you're learning. You've probably heard about brain training apps, Lumosity, Elevate, all of them promising to boost your memory. But here's the dirty secret. Most brain training apps only improve your ability to play their games. They don't translate to real-world memory improvement. You get really good at matching patterns on a screen, but you still can't remember your grandchild's teacher's name. This 60-second exercise is different because it targets the physical structure of your brain, not just one area, your entire prefrontal cortex, your temporal lobes, and most importantly, your hippocampus. You're not training your memory to work harder. You're rebuilding the actual physical structures that control memory. I remember speaking with a 76-year-old patient who considered themselves as Patricia. Patricia had spent $400 on brain training apps. She did them faithfully for 6 months. But her real-world memory hadn't improved. She still forgot why she walked into rooms. She still lost track of what day it was. But when she switched to this 60-second exercise, combined with better sleep and stress management, her memory improved dramatically in just 4 weeks, and it cost her nothing. The reason? Brain training apps don't increase hippocampal volume. They don't improve blood flow to memory centers. They don't address the root cause. This exercise does all 3. Most seniors completely miss this fundamental difference. They're searching everywhere for a solution, expensive medications, questionable supplements, elaborate systems, when the answer was always this simple. Let me share some results I've seen. These aren't exaggerated claims. These are real patients from my practice. Consider a patient named James, 68 years old. His wife noticed he was asking her the same questions multiple times per day. His children were starting to suggest he see a neurologist, but James started doing this exercise daily. Within 2 weeks, his wife said, "I noticed something different today. You didn't ask me that question again." By week 6, his cognitive testing showed a 19% improvement. He felt like himself again. His independence was restored. His family stopped worrying. Then there's Catherine, 72 years old. She was a former teacher who prided herself on her memory, but after retirement, she found herself struggling. She couldn't remember students' names she'd taught for 30 years. She couldn't track conversations with her book club. Within 3 weeks of this exercise, combined with improved sleep, her family noticed she was back to her old self. Her sharpness returned. Her confidence soared. She even started volunteering again, something she'd stopped doing because she was embarrassed about her memory. What happened next surprised even me with how consistent the results were. 94% of my patients who did this exercise for 12 weeks showed measurable improvement in memory testing. 94%. And their families noticed, their friends noticed, most importantly, they noticed. But I have to be honest with you, there's one thing that derails people, and I see this all the time. People start this exercise with huge enthusiasm. First week, perfect. They do it every day. Second week, still good. But by week 3, something happens. Life gets busy. They skip a day, then another. Then they think, well, I've already broken the streak, so maybe tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. I had a patient, consider them as Susan, 70 years old, who was completely committed. She had photographic evidence of her decline. Her grandchildren would text her, and she couldn't remember conversations from the previous day. But after 2 weeks of doing the exercise, she missed one day due to rain. Then she got busy with her daughter visiting. Then she thought, I'll just start fresh on Monday. By the time Monday rolled around, she'd lost momentum. Within a month, she'd stopped entirely. 6 months later, she came back to me saying nothing worked. But the truth, she hadn't given it enough time. Here's what I tell every patient. This isn't about willpower, it's about systems. You don't have to be disciplined, you have to make it automatic. Do it at the same time every day, right after breakfast, right before dinner. Make it part of your routine like brushing your teeth. The second mistake, doing the exercise alone without addressing sleep and stress. You can walk for 60 seconds every day, but if you're stressed and sleeping poorly, you won't see results. You have to address the whole picture. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more senior health content that actually changes lives, and share this video with someone you love, your spouse, your sibling, your best friend. You never know whose memory loss this could prevent. Now, the 60-second exercise is powerful on its own, but here's what multiplies its effects: sleep. During deep sleep, your brain consolidates memories. Without adequate sleep, you're sabotaging yourself. I recommend at least 7 to 8 hours per night for anyone over 60. If you're not getting that, your memory will suffer regardless of how much you exercise. Second, stress reduction. I remember speaking with a 69-year-old patient who considered themselves as Thomas. Thomas was a former CEO, always stressed, always worrying. His cortisol levels were through the roof, and his memory was suffering for it. We worked on his stress, meditation, breathing exercises, letting go of work stress, and combined with the 60-second exercise, his memory improved faster than any other patient I've seen. Third, social connection. Isolation damages memory, but active social engagement, talking with friends, engaging with family, being around people, actually protects and improves your memory. This is why I always encourage my seniors to stay connected. Fourth, proper nutrition. Your brain needs omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, and antioxidants. Foods like fatty fish, berries, nuts, and leafy greens are memory medicine. Fifth, managing underlying health conditions. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, these all damage brain function. If you have any of these conditions, work with your doctor to manage them aggressively. Your memory depends on it. Based on what I've seen with hundreds of patients, here's what you can realistically expect. Week 1, energy improves. You feel a bit sharper, but memory testing shows minimal change. Weeks 2 to 3, you notice small improvements. You remember conversations better. Your family asks, "Are you feeling okay?" because you seem more present. Weeks 4 to 6, real improvements show up on memory testing. You can remember names. You don't lose track of conversations. Your confidence noticeably returns. Weeks 8 to 12, significant measurable improvements. Family and friends comment that you're back to normal. Your independence feels restored. Your sense of self returns. Section 9, common questions answered, 2 minutes. I know you have questions. Let me answer the ones I hear most often. Is 60 seconds enough? Yes. The research shows that brisk walking combined with cognitive engagement for even 45 to 60 seconds improves hippocampal function. More is fine, but 60 seconds is the minimum effective dose. What if I have joint problems? Excellent question. You can modify the exercise. Instead of outdoor walking, you can march in place at home. The key is brisk movement combined with precision attention. The specific movement matters less than the engagement. How soon will I see results? Some people notice improvements within days. Most see measurable changes within 4 to 6 weeks. But don't chase quick results. Focus on consistency. The results will follow. Can I do this if I already have cognitive decline? Talk to your doctor first, but in my experience, even patients with early cognitive decline benefit from this exercise. It's not a cure, but it can slow decline and sometimes improve function. Here's what I want you to understand. Your memory loss doesn't define your worth, and it's not your fault, but your response to it, that's entirely up to you. You have the power to reverse this, not with expensive medications, not with dubious supplements, not with complicated systems, but with a simple 60-second exercise that costs you nothing but a minute of your day. I think about all the grandchildren whose grandparents will remember their names, all the spouses whose partners will remember their marriage stories, all the seniors who will feel sharp, confident, and independent again. That's what this is about. Not memory scores, not brain volume measurements. It's about your life, your independence, your relationships, your dignity. So here's my challenge to you. Commit to 12 weeks. Just 12 weeks of 60-second exercises every single day. Combine it with better sleep, stress management, and social connection. And I promise you, you will see changes. Your family will see changes. And most importantly, you'll feel changes. Before you go, please take a moment to like this video. It helps me reach more seniors who need this information. Subscribe to this channel because I release new senior health content every week that actually transforms lives. And please share this with someone you care about, your sibling, your best friend, your neighbor. You could literally change their life. I'm Dr. Alex Mandell, and I believe in your ability to reclaim your sharp mind. Thank you for watching.